All right, guys, good morning, everyone. Welcome aboard to our market recap for the week. We usually do it on Fridays or Saturdays. I decided to do it on Saturday, get some rest up from the week. And what a better time to look at it with fresh eyes like we do every morning, right? So again, it just really depends when we do it. That's why it's important to turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos that we send out. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit this like button. If you like these videos, more to come. Comments, questions, suggestions, please put it in the comment box below, guys. Good morning and happy Saturday. It is August 12th, 2023, 10:14 in the morning. What a better place to start our prep of the next week with the weekend starting now. All right, let's do it. So what we're going to do first is that we're going to go over our trades, obviously our options trades, and then we're going to go ahead and take a look at the week ahead. And in regards to the options trades that we just did, we're going to see what we did right, what we did wrong, what we could have done better, and move forward. And then we'll start going to the next part, which is the preparation for the week upcoming. Just want to reiterate that. All right, so let's go over the trades this week. It was a choppy week. Let's call it for what it is. Let's start with, let me see if I can get, let's see here, Koyfin. Koyfin is actually really good for visualization in terms of certain charts. So that TOS I don't get. So let's go to Koyfin here. And again, this is free for all. So you can sign up for the free one, but here we go. The reason I do this is because I like the 5-day chart. Again, this is the week. And then we can kind of get an idea of how the major indices acted this week in terms of price action. And again, you could see just pretty much chop. Sideways action. You could see Monday we had a nice gain higher. Tuesday we came down. Wednesday we came down. Thursday we came down. Friday we just chopped again. So let's take a look at it. The Dow Industrial Average gained 0.62% this week. Rotation into value, energy. We'll talk about that here in a second. The S&P ended green, down 0.31%. Pretty much not much to talk about. The NASDAQ was the biggest loser. Well, next to the IWM small caps, we hit that 2,000 level on Russell RTY like we talked about, and then it pulled back. 1.62% to the downside for the NASDAQ and 1.64% on small caps in regards to the week. So that's where we are. Here is Forex Factory. We'll take a look at that here in a second. All right, let's take a look at how we did. 4 for 4 this week, 100%. Undefeated week, but it was a grind. It was a grind. Why? Just chop. And remember, guys, these are all puts. So we're going to go over step by step. It is not easy to short in a bull market. But again, we have to play what we see. So again, a very technology-centric week. We shorted what was down this week, which was the NASDAQ. NASDAQ was down 1.62% this week. We played weakness, and we caught it. We also played some strength this week. We filled it 2 days ago. ExxonMobil calls, the 114s. We're going to go over that as we go down the list. So let's go and start with Apple. We filled on the 7th of August. That was, I believe, Monday. And that's the 175 put. So let's go ahead and take a look at it together. We're just going to go ahead and minimize here. We'll open it up here. And here is Apple. Let's go ahead and go over it. We're going to go ahead and start with, I'm going to start since last Thursday. How's that? Monday's when we opened. So Monday we came down, and I want to go ahead and go step by step with our Discord on the actual chart. So here we go. So you guys can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just pretty much a slow melter, right? Like we said on the morning note, this market is kind of like an ice cube under the sun right now. Let's go ahead and see exactly what time we sent it so we can track it. The 7th of August, you could see here, 35% we closed it. But again, we opened at 9:42 in the morning. The 175 puts at 73 cents. So 9:42 in the morning, right out the gate. We know what we wanted to do. We wanted to short Apple. So we need to see exactly what time we did it. It's around 9 o'clock. It was mostly this candle here that we continued to go down. That was at, let me see if I can bring up a 5-minute chart. Here we go. So here's a 5-minute chart based on this week. Maybe this will probably be the best way to kind of give a commentary on the price action. Let's see it here one more time. The time we filled it. 175 put, 73 cents, 9:42 in the morning. So here we are, 9:40, and this is where we got the drop. So we got in on that break of around 182, and we continue to go down to around 178, even more down to 177.31 right at 11 a.m. So continuation break on the 5-minute based on the 5-day setup. That's all. The reason I didn't do it by a 5-minute chart, I promise you. And it was really just the break of 180 is what we were looking for. Let's go over the analysis together. We'll go to watch this in charts. And you can go to, let's see, those are chart updates, Apple, here we go. Here is the breakdown. What's up, guys? Happy Sunday, all time to get prepped. I sent this out in the blog. Apple was on the blog too. That was free, I'll show you guys. Below 180, watch for the 176 to 175 puts. 126.27 was the 100 DMA for the bounce. We want 187.09, that's the 50. The last thing we want is to be chopped between two major moving averages. Here are the moving averages now, 187.47 to 177.44. So now you see it. And here is the old chart, 181.99. This is when we sent this chart over the weekend to see for that continuation. So 180 was the break. We got the break. We played the puts. Let's take a look at the result together. So as you know, Robinhood is now charging fees. It's not themselves charging the fees. It is the options commission or what have you. I think it's the FTC or something like that. The CTFC, excuse me. So I did both. Let's see if I can bring this up. So Apple 35%, you could see it here. I went a little less than expected than I usually do. And the reason is because I did it on both. I did it on TOS and Robinhood. But Robinhood, I know you guys like, filled at 73, got out $1. That's around 37%. I put 35. Apple got as high as 50%. And then that's what we got. We had a little lower, but again, we got chopped around. Let's go back to the 5-minute. You can see right when we got out, just want to make sure the time that we got out. The time we got out was 11 o'clock in the morning, so about an hour trade. So here is 11 o'clock. We got out right before the next leg lower to around 11:30. But after that, we didn't retest those levels until Wednesday. So you got chopped up all the way back up to 181. So good thing we got out, because if we would have held, we would have got chopped all the way to 181. We got back down on Wednesday, chopped again, back down on Friday, and by that time, those contracts are pretty much done, and then pulled back. I even tried to short with Masterclass, the 175 puts again, and we got chopped. Just time. I should have bought it for next week, and I didn't. But, at the end of the day, that's where we are. It's just a terrible tape. The big move was on Monday, and unless you shorted unless you went long Tuesday, you would have got that right. You'd have to get it right at 9:30 because you got hit. And then if you bought calls here, you got as high as 179 and got slammed again. And again, if you bought calls here, you got up at 181 and you got slammed again. So you can see that the options market is very brutal right now, very difficult, but we did well and we caught it exactly what we wanted. So well done, 37%, got as high as 57. In regards to Tesla, let's do it. So here's a 5-minute on the 5-day period, and you can see started at 257, we hung out to 241.80. Got as low as 238. So here's the first Tesla trade. This was the 240 puts at 263. Keep in mind, we hit it twice this week. So there's the 240 puts August 7th. We're going to go to Discord and see it. Tesla, the 240 puts at 263 at 9:47 a.m. on Monday the 7th. So let's see, right here is where we shorted. And again, you could see it right here. We got a little bounce in the beginning, and then we fell down at 11:30. That was the low that we got of the day. Guess what time we got out? So again, that's 11:30 in the morning on that same day. 11:26 a.m. Pretty much like a sniper. Close 35% and leave a runner. If you held after that period, right at 11:30, you got hit all the way up to 252. You'd have to wait pre-market for that to go lower. We bounced, came back down, bounced, came back down, and then gap up, and then flush on Wednesday. And reminder, if you were holding this level, you got back to it at 11 o'clock in the morning, and then bounced, and then fell, and then chopped. Morning, we bounced on Thursday, CPI, and then bounced back down, and then the next leg lower. So really what Tesla was doing was delaying the inevitable. So keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the daily, and you could see the clear break of 248, 250 level, right? So let's go over the actual play. So we had the Tesla 35%. We closed it. Again, I got one contract, didn't get a chance to fill. I filled it on TOS for you guys, and there you go. 34% is what I got. And I got out. And we got as high as 52% on Tesla and as high as 57% on Apple puts. So we didn't get exactly the bottom, but pretty good. Let's go and take a look at that chart on Tesla. Same as last week, below 250, we can play the 235 to 240 puts to support of June. You can see that right here. Staying away from this long for now until it gets back above 270, which I agree. Actually, probably a little more, 268 because that's the 20-day moving average. So again, it's just a breakdown. Finds meaning to support at 200 to 220. I agree with that as well. Well done, Nick, on that breakdown. Rather quickly, go ahead and make sure that you guys saw this. So you can see, if I can go to the market chat, let me see if I can go to the market blog, because I gave the breakdown of the week, and I'm going to set up another watch list for you guys on the actual blog this weekend. So here it is. 3 names I got my eyes on this week, team. This is 8/6, 8:08 p.m. That's on Sunday. Apple below 180, the 176 to 175 puts, we caught it. It's the 100 DMA to play a bounce. We want to get to 187.09. That's the 50. Last thing we want to do is be chopped in. Again, I also gave the chart to the watch list and charts, which is premium and masterclass. Palantir never broke my alert, which is we needed to get above 20. The 20 strike if we can get above 18 to 19. We never got there. We broke down. So again, no harm, no foul. ExxonMobil, we're going to talk about here. I just want to make sure that you guys see that we posted this on the live market blog. And this is free for everybody. Granted, I'm not going to give the exact breakdowns with charts either. Got to be fair to everyone else. But again, we announced this ahead of time. So if you caught Apple this week, congratulations. We did catch it too. It got as high as 57%. Let's go back to Tesla. And again, Tesla on the daily still has the gap fill, 235.13, just kind of chopping you around. That's what happens with low liquidity. We talked about that many times. But the most important thing, guys, is if you guys made money, which we did. 11:30 a.m. That was the bottom of the day. Let's see how we did. We're going to go ahead and close this. Tesla, what time do we close? 11:26 in the morning. Pretty much as close as you're going to get. And again, 40% did not hit. We didn't just say close at 40%. We got to 43%. True. We got to 52%. But we got it for 35. It's better to be safe than sorry on Tesla. Well done. You can see it here. Tesla, we also opened the 240 puts. Now, this one was like pulling teeth. We got into it again because we broke down the alert that I wanted. So again, let's see the day that we filled it. It was the 8th. The 240 puts for the same week. So did we get in the 8th? No, I don't think we got in the 8th. The 8th, we got in the 7th on Apple and Tesla the first time. That's Monday. Tuesday, we got into it again. So you can see it here. We got into it here, came back down. So we played puts on Tesla, and this one was like pulling teeth. We were expecting another leg lower, which we did. We got to right before the bell on Wednesday. Thursday was CPI. So right on Wednesday, just want to let you know that we're always looking out for you. We're going to go to premium signals. And again, we held these Tesla puts. Let me see if I can get this down here. Okay. This is the 9th. So 9th is on Wednesday. I said, Tesla, we're going to hold it. Regardless of CPI, we're going to play the technicals. We know where this is going. Our target was 240. That was our strike. It's now flat green. If you want to close here and manage risk now, this is the time to do it. Again, this was pre-CPI. Tesla broke, and it is now green. Green. You have 1 minute. You're up 3% on Tesla. So again, it was all about giving you guys the option. And it wasn't just for premium. Basic, I said the same too. So this is important, a pertinent lesson. Understand that. You say it was filled. And again, I repeated the same message on the 9th at 3:58 p.m. Now, some may not have closed, and that's fair. And some did. So again, 3:58. Look at the level right around 3:58. That's 241.85. We were literally about $2 away. Chop midday, overnight, and then we had the boost CPI. Now, remember we had the morning note on the CPI, and I said this tape is not great. We didn't break anything. What happened? We came back down. And again, we got back down to 248, 298. We held on, we held on, we held on. And then the next day, Friday, that's where we got the pullback, right in the morning at 9:50. So the lows hit at 238. 238 at 9:40 in the morning. I want you to remember that. Why? Let's take a look. 9:54. 9:42 in the morning. Tesla is in the money if you held. Tesla's now break even. If you held this long, you can close. And the reason I said to close is because it was expiring that Friday, which was yesterday. Very rarely, guys, understand that the market gives you 2 chances to close without pain. That is extremely rare. I got out plus 8%. I had it on 2 ports. And again, didn't exactly go heavy either because of this chop. If we would have just opened it this morning, that Friday morning, forgetting the fact that we held, we would have been up 329%. If we would have opened this trade Wednesday morning, we'd have been up 178%. This is why it's so crucial when it comes to options trading. It's time. It's all timing. It's not enough to be right. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. We were in the money. Look at this, in the money on this stock. The current Tesla price, 238.25, 25 cents. The low was 238.02. I even said to close 8%, take your money, right? And what happened? It flipped. It flipped. And it got back to down to 241.80. So you didn't even get in the money anymore. You didn't even close near the money. It bounced you right at that point, and the market is very cruel. Luckily, we got out. So you had 2 chances to get out of break even, pre-CPI, and on Friday, first thing, and then I got out at 8%. I'm just happy that we did. Very, very important. XOM, we got green on calls. That's where we were this morning. Yesterday morning, we had ExxonMobil. So that's Tesla twice. And that's not the first time we've hit trades based on our technicals 2 times. We hit Goldman Sachs just 3 weeks ago, 3 times in the same week. 2 with premium and 1 with masterclass. So again, nothing really new. If the setup is the same and we know where we're going, which we did, we hit the 238 target. Guys, we were right. We were right twice. The problem was time. You get chopped. That's the really killer of being a day trader. Microsoft, August 8th, 320 puts. That was on Tuesday. Let's take a look at it. Microsoft. Let's go to the 5-minute chart, and you can see, Monday where we were at 331.11. Now we're at 320.75. Great. Guess what strike we had? The 320 puts. So luckily, we didn't get in the money as we closed. So no one really got hurt. 321.01. No one got hurt with exercising or anything. At least that. We want to rent these stocks. We don't want to own them. Well, I do own Microsoft, but we don't want to own them for a trade. This is a trade, not an investment is what I mean. August 8th, again, we got in on a Tuesday. Got in at the 172 entry level on the 320 puts. So let's go ahead and see what time we sent it. It's very, very important to look at the time, guys. So it gives a little bit of an explanation. Microsoft, 11:22 a.m. Oh, sorry, that's when we closed. Microsoft, we actually held overnight. The 8th at 10:16 in the morning, the 320 puts. Now this one kind of hurt a little bit because we got 30%. I'm like, damn, why didn't I close, right? That happens so many times. And here's the difficulty of doing this for a living, is the accountability part. And that's something that I take very much pride in, is accountability. Is explaining things in real time, why things happen, and how to be careful. I have made many mistakes in my career, guys. I have mistakes with zeros on the end. Let's just say that. The goal here is to teach you guys so you don't make the same mistakes. That's it. Anybody can tell you what to buy. Anybody can tell you to short or buy calls or buy puts. But where is the accountability? Are they going to go over every trade with you? Are they going to go ahead and explain the trades to you? What happened? How did it happen? What are we going to do in the future? What are the lessons that we learned? And if that person or that organization makes a mistake, are they willing to own it? Or is just the market? It's not how it goes sometimes. You have to be understanding why things happen, why they happen, and accountability is the biggest part of GAR Capital. Now, again, I cannot control what you guys do with your money. I can't do that. I can't control you. I can't hit the button for you is what I say. So people get nervous, and I answer DMs all the time. Are you still holding this? What do you think about that? Do you feel good about it? Guys, you know how hard it is to send a signal to you guys? Our reputation's on the line on every trade. And I have to explain it live on YouTube how I made a mistake. Not easy. It takes a lot of self-awareness for someone or anyone to say, I made a mistake. This is how I'm going to fix it. And we've done that many times since you've been here watching our videos. And again, I appreciate it as always. And I think that's why you guys are fans of ours, is the accountability factor of explaining when we make a mistake or explaining what we did well and what we're learning for the future. Again, we just don't want to throw trades out there and see what sticks. We want to be tactical. We want to be with purpose and preciseness so you can make money. The goal here is for you guys to make money. Doesn't matter what I do, doesn't matter what I have or what I drive or what kind of house I live in or my profile. It doesn't matter. What matters is this information making you money? That's our goal, to make you money. And that's it. And again, the easiest way that I found is to have you guys do the things that I do in terms of trading. You don't have to fill the same strike. You don't even have to fill the same expiry. Hell, you don't have to close when we close. That is up to you. Up to you guys. This is the way to do it. So you have some skin in the game and you are doing it. And then when you succeed, you have no one to congratulate but yourself. Again, we're just here to help. That's it. Let's get back to Microsoft rather quickly. Microsoft, again, first thing in the morning, nice drop, right? They hit the lows right around 10:55 in the morning. It broke below 322 or 323. Let's go back to the chart, back to the Discord. Tesla 320 puts at 10:16 in the morning. We got as high as 30% at 10:58. So right at 11, this is where we hit the point of the lows of the day at 323, and then we bounced. One regret I had was not taking it for 30% that day, but we had to sweat it out. But we knew where we were going. That's the thing. It is so difficult to convince our members sometimes because I don't know what more to say, guys. You know, if I send the signal, that is literally the largest accountability that I'd have. That is the largest sense of stress that I have when I send a trade because it's my name on it. It's our name on it. And again, we're not going to send something to you guys for you guys to lose. We wouldn't be in business very long if our members were losing money. Let's be honest. And I've been doing this for 9 years now. 9 years in October, GAR Capital anniversary, October. That'd be 9 years. So the fact is, you know, if you're having issues with holding, guys, I am on Discord. Please DM me. Please. I would love to hear from you guys. This is what I do, is to help you guys. There's no such thing as a dumb question. I get repetitive questions all the time. Does it get kind of old? Yeah, but it's my job. My job to help you. I work for you guys. Remember that. I'm here to help you guys. What is it that you need? What can I explain? What can I show you that you know my point of view, at least in terms of technicals or the market, is the accurate one? And as we've seen this week, it has been 4 for 4. That's pretty accurate. Not bad, especially with the chop week that I've shown you. Very, very difficult. Let's go back to the watches and charts and see the explanation on why we got into Microsoft. Microsoft below 325. We played 320 and 315 puts, targeting the gap fill from May. If this one remarkably gets back to 340 this week, we can play upside. It didn't, as we know. But again, as Nick explained, below 325, we played the 320 puts. Pretty simple. We broke 325 at what time? Right around 10 in the morning. What time did we fill the trade? We filled it at 10:16 in the morning. Got to 30%. That was my bad. I should have taken it for 30%. But again, I knew where we were going. And what happened the next day? Green at 11 in the morning on that push down. And then we got out for 40%. And I did it for both TOS for you guys so you guys can see, and for Robinhood so you guys can see. 320 puts. So again, it's the fact that now that Robinhood is charging, you know, Robinhood isn't exactly that great for fills, guys. TOS is way better. But again, I'll do both and see what you guys like. It really doesn't matter. I mean, we could use any broker. The money's the same. It's just the difference in terms of bid and ask in microseconds. We don't want that. So again, that was the third trade. Actually, that was the third trade. Yeah, this happened before the Tesla trade. So let's go ahead and chart Microsoft. We got on at 11:22 the next day. Here was the low at 11:20. Perfect exit, team. Bounced again, chopped again, bounced again, chopped again, bounced again, chop again. I don't even know. It got in the money. It got in the money. Look how this went down. It went in the money right at 11 o'clock. It seems that right at 11 a.m. this week, that's where we got the lows, right? Have you noticed that? 11 a.m., 11 a.m., 11 a.m. Where's another 11 a.m. here? 11 a.m. We bounced a little bit. Okay, so Thursday, no. 11 a.m. here. Yes, it did. So tough sledding out there. Let's go over XOM together. XOM, we're going to get this next week for sure. And again, that was part of that watch list that we had on Discord for the blog for everybody. 112.03 is going to break anyways. We know that. We know that energy got the bids this week. Energy and value got all the love. I like value coming into this week. 114.47 is our gap fill. That's what we're going to play. we have the 114 calls. CVX did the exact same thing. Broke out. We played this a couple weeks ago. The 166 calls, and we caught it. I believe that was, we hit that the end of July. So again, that's going to be our target. So let's keep an eye on CVX if XOM kind of runs a little stale on Monday, if we can get a chance to play CVX. I'll put it on the actual setup for you guys on Discord for the week. I'll throw CVX on there. Again, just mind you, the gap fill. That's what we're looking for, 166. Once it broke 164, I wanted to get in. I just didn't want so much more risk, especially concentrated risk on one single sector. So let's see on Monday. Hopefully we don't get any crazy headlines in regards to OPEC or something, but that should hit. Well done. So that's where we are this week. 4 for 4. We got ExxonMobil open. The week, again, starting a new streak, maybe. If you noticed, the first 3, like we did in July, 3 losers, and then we went streaking. Is this the similar setup coming up for GAR Capital? Can't wait for Monday, that's for sure. Let's pivot into Monday now. We went over the week. Things I could have changed. I wish I could have taken that Microsoft at 30%. Would have alleviated a lot of stress. We got 40% anyway. No harm, no foul. So well done to the team. Let's go to S&P 500 futures, and we're going to chart the indices for the week. 50-day moving average. We talked about this on the morning note as well, in regards to the choppiness, kind of the slow melting ice cube in the August sun. August is very choppy due to seasonality. Everyone's been saying that. We've been saying that since July, that August is going to be choppy. So let's take a look at the seasonality one more time. We are now, what date? We are out now on the 12th. Yes, the 12th. The 12th of August. So we're right at this midpoint here. Let's say it right here, 12th. So we're expecting a little bit more upside and again, more chop. And then towards the end of the month, we'll get a little more upside. Now this is difficult. I think that we're going to bounce tomorrow. Why? The next week. Why? Look at the put to call ratios. Everyone likes puts. Guilty. We traded puts this week, right? But this is when things kind of mess up for the bears, especially in a bull market. We got to 102. Last time we got there was in April and in May. And what happened? The market soared. June and July. Same thing in January. See that big spike in January? If you bought puts then, again, you have to look at the flow. A lot of people are shorting now. So what we want to do is look for counter. XOM being long, for example. But XOM is more for the oil industry and rotation. We're going to see more rotation into value, industrials, and energy as oil prices go higher, obviously. So you see the 50-day moving average, good close on S&P 500. That's a really great close. I think this might hold, guys. Worst case scenario, we're going to get to 44.30. I think we're a little long in the tooth on the short side. I think now we need to start looking back at going higher. And what do we need for that? 45.50. It's a little bit of ways away, sure. But 45.50, that's where we're looking to go long on the S&P 500. And there's a gap to fill at 45.96, at least on the hourly on S&P 500 futures. I think I have it on the 4-hour. Is there a gap to fill there? No gap. Okay. Oh, there is a gap to fill in the 4-hour for 45.96. And again, still downward trend, lower lows, lower highs. So we need a actual trend break to go long. I think we get it next week, as it's been about 2 weeks of this kind of just slow rolling chop. We're bouncing off the 50-day. That was the same 1 week. Once we tagged it in May, we just got a big boost from 41.16 all the way to 45.96. So that was the last time that we tested the 50-day on the S&P 500 on future side. So again, I believe next week we're going to get a little bit of a push. And I talked about this on the Almanac too, on the morning note. Again, the stock market Almanac is saying here, 3 bullish days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Again, I don't want to take all the knowledge that I need in terms of this one book. Of course not. But again, seeing that bounce on that 50, seeing put call ratios go higher, starting to see that the sentiment is changing now. When are we going to short? When is it time? Starting to get those DMs. Should I close my NVIDIA stock? Should I sell everything? That's, again, the same kind of poker game here. So when everyone wants to be long, just like we had this week, we shorted, and everyone wants to be short this week, more than likely we go long. And not just to be cute or anything. It's just the fact that this is the reality. We're hitting some support. Now, unless we break that support, fine. But you can see 15,000 held on a NASDAQ 500. NASDAQ futures, we need 15,274. That's your 50-day moving average. Once we break that, we can target 15,576 for a potential long. I wouldn't yet until we get to 15,500. That is the resistance double top that we had in June and July. So if we can retest that double top resistance and break above it, that's when we start taking a look at the next zone higher, which is right up to 16,000, and we will over time. Again, we know the seasonality is changing. The first 2 weeks of August is kind of crap. Everyone's going back to school. Everyone's taking vacation. That's just the reality of the charts here. We also have some earnings coming up this week. Let's take a look at it. This was also on the live market blog this morning. And here we go. We don't have anything that stands out to me on Monday that I actually look at, so we'll skip Monday. Home Depot is on Tuesday. Again, not a lot of options, in terms of options opportunities for those names. Home Depot doesn't do a lot unless you catch something fine. Target, that's on their TJX, JDE.com. What else we got? Cisco on Wednesday. Citi came out with a note, Citibank, that they're expecting strength in Cisco's earnings this Wednesday. Walmart on Thursday. Anything else? No. Applied Materials, AMAT, again, that's semiconductors. That's on Friday. Thursday, after the close. And then we also have Ross Stores. John Deere, again, like Caterpillar on Friday when they reported a great quarter. XPENG or XPeng, I think that's the car manufacturer, the actual electric vehicle. And again, I really don't trade that unless it was a UOA or something. I mean, is there anything that stands out to me? Let's go and chart some of the big boys. Let's chart some Home Depot. We can do that. Home Depot on the 1 hour, and not a lot of edge here, guys. Okay, now we're talking. Home Depot, let's see. You got 2 wicks here, so you really got 2 options. Could you wait for 350 for the break? Sure. Could you wait for 335 for the break and play the 345s running up into earnings? That sounds like a winner to me. I think that's what we can do. We're bouncing off that 20-day. If we break the highs of July, 335.21, we can target 340 to 3. I would say 340 is probably the safest bet in terms of the strike. There's no such thing as safe in trading, mind you. There is no such thing as safe. The safest thing is cash, and even that can lose its value. Imagine that. So again, Home Depot, we could wait for 335.21 just to give us the eyes on what volume is out there. The problem is, of course, time. Time is always the issue. And again, this is on Tuesday morning. Very tough. We would need that break first thing on Monday and get the hell out the same day. So I don't think that's the most optimal scenario for a trade. I feel like we're kind of pressing. But let's see if after the report, we get that break. And then we can do 340 to 350. So this may be a wait for the response like a Goldman Sachs or an Apple trade, where we waited for the earnings and then we traded anyways. We did puts this week. Let's take a look at Target. One of my turnaround stories that everyone thinks I'm a little wild in terms of Target. But Target, let's see what they got. In terms of support, again, I'm looking for 120 to go ahead and break so I can go ahead and scoop some shares up at Target. My wife spends a lot of money on Target. I might as well just go ahead and buy more shares. And you can see here 146.83. That is your gap fill. That's what you're looking for. 146.84, but you got to break 140. That clears this chop here that we've been kind of stuck in really for 2 months almost. Pretty crazy. 2 months of worth of chop after that earnings report. Could we get back to where we are? This is going to be the make or break time for Target. If Target does not knock it out of the park in terms of their earnings, you're talking now about a $90 stock. Won't be in one day. It won't be just a complete collapse. You're not losing $40 a share in one day unless it's a complete meltdown for this company. But again, you can see the downward trend weekly on the weekly chart, the 200 MA. We broke below that, not just broke below, we sliced it. We have a death cross on the weekly chart. So Target is a dog right now in terms of price action. So the CEO and the earnings report, this is going to be an important one. To me, probably the most important one for one stock this week. It's going to be Target. And it needs to show us something, because if it doesn't, you're going to get more sales and it's going to fall. And if it falls, fine. We know where we're going. We're going to break 120. We're going to go ahead and short. So if we break below 125.47, we'll hit the 120 puts if there's volume. So we'll make some money one way or another. depending on which direction it goes. So let me go ahead and set up an alert here at 125.08. Breaks 125.08. We'll just target the 120s or whatever has strike there. But again, when it comes to target, guys, it usually doesn't have tons of volume. It's just chop. And that's really all you can look at. Don't cancel here. My apologies. All right. What was the other one here? Anything that stands out? Cisco? No. None of these. Walmart, I guess we can do. Yeah, I guess we'll take a look at Walmart. Walmart has actually been having some great price action lately. What Walmart reminds me of is the insider selling. A lot of the Waltons were selling stock that could have been for the Denver Broncos. They own the Denver Broncos now. And everyone thought, insider selling, the stock is going to tank. Guys, there is no magic bullet with trading. I don't care how many algo flows or black boxes or, all of these little tools out there, charts. Yes, charts are important, as we know, but there is no holy grail. Even looking at insider selling of the board of directors or the CEO, the stock has gone higher. It doesn't work like that. It takes everything. You have to look at everything as a whole to really understand the pulse of the market. And it goes with time. The more screen time you have, the better you're going to get. So again, if you put the emphasis on the research and the process, you're going to be successful. But if you only look at the results, I want to make this, it's important to have goals, but you have to build the foundation of your trading home, let's just say trading home or trading mentality, in order to get where you want to go moving forward. And that's where your goals start being hit. The best thing about goals, guys, is checking them off, right? But how are we going to check off the goals if we don't have the foundations of macroeconomics, technical analysis, understanding that there is no magic bullet? I have to be in the know of what's important if I'm going to be successful. I need to be doing research on the weekend. I need to be reading charts at night. I need to be ready for any single thing that may happen, whether it is a Fitch downgrade or a debt ceiling fight or some overnight China headlines. You are ready for any scenario. Think of it as poker. Any cards that you got, when you look at it and you have a poker face, you need to show in that demeanor that that's exactly the cards that you wanted. And in every turn of the card, and if you're saying Texas Hold'em, you need to understand and keep that same demeanor that you got exactly what you wanted if you were betting or if you're not folding, obviously, but you need to expect everything that's going to happen. That's risk management. So one of the best advice I can give to people, play poker online. Free, 3 online, free. I don't want to say gambling. Zynga Poker is free. Play. That is the only game I can tell you right now that will teach you risk management and change of direction based on data change, whether it's a new card or a headline in the market. Poker, Texas Hold'em, try it. Do the free one on Zynga. It's free. Okay, please don't risk money gambling online. It could be rigged, as we know. I don't know about that stuff. I like Zynga Poker for free, the little virtual money, having fun. But again, it gives you the practice for risk management and things that change. Practice, that is a great, great way to learn. Even a Bloomberg article came out that hedge fund managers like poker players because they know how to trade. Just a thought as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here with the last part, which is our week's upcoming economic data and reports. We have core retail sales on Tuesday the 15th. We have retail sales as well. We also have business inventories on that same day, mortgage delinquencies, FOMC, Neil Kashkari, member Neil Kashkari speaks, import prices, anything that's red, that's kind of the important stuff. So retail sales on Tuesday, that'll be important. We have a retail-centric earnings report. How good is the consumer doing? FOMC meeting minutes. Again, this is just the details of their last meeting. As you know, we had the 25 basis point hike. Let's see if any details have changed in terms of expectations. We know the Fed has already said publicly that they do not expect a recession coming this year. Thanks. Crude oil inventories on Wednesday at 10:30. Housing starts, building permits. These are leading indicators for housing. Extremely important. Housing just hit a new all-time high in the United States. Housing value. So imagine that. Thursday, August 17th, unemployment claims. We had a hotter than expected high unemployment claims this last Thursday. Interesting enough, is this a blip or a trend? If the labor market starts showing cracks, the Fed is going to respond. So unemployment claims every Thursday. And the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, I really don't put that much emphasis on it personally. Let me see if I can get the setup here. I want to go over the core retail sales and the retail sales expectations. 0.4% on both month over month growth. So they're expecting growth in retail sales of 0.4%. And then the unemployment claims, the expectation is 240,000 people asking for unemployment benefits. So above 240 would be something that we won't want, but the last one we got 248. So maybe a little bit of a downtick in terms of unemployment claims. So that's where we are for the week. Very proud of the work we did this week, 4 for 4. I'm glad we got that last Tesla because it's been a fight. It's been a fight. You know, the market isn't always going to be perfect. You're not going to have optimal conditions every day. It doesn't work that way, guys. The market doesn't care what position you have. It's just the market. It's, you know, supply and demand. And there is no magic bullet. Again, like I want to really reiterate, there is no magic bullet. You just need time. And keep in mind, kind of like a video game in life, right? And when you play a video game and it gets a little more difficult or it challenges you, you're usually in the right path. If it's starting to get easier, in a sense, you're probably in the wrong level. You got to level up in a sense, right? This is the things that levels up. I can tell you personally, I have noticed the growth in my trading and in my analysis and my analysis and sharing the information, being on top of things. What a difference from when I first started. I can honestly give you guys marker points of now when I trade, I'm like, I would have made that mistake 3 years ago, but now I don't. I would have made that mistake 4 years ago. I would have held 2 years ago, but you change and you progress. No one has really mastered anything. I mean, I don't know many people that master things. You know, when people say you master something, I only think of like the greatest, you know, the Jordans, the Tom Brady's. Yeah, that is so rare. At the end of the day, we're still all learning. Even I learn every day new things. I have to be on top of the market because the last thing I want to be, guys, is surprised. Because if I'm surprised, that means that I'm not doing my research and I'm not in control. And I want to be in control of what I'm doing. Granted, we talked about a week ago regards to it just rains sometimes, you know, like that Fitch downgrade. And, you know, you can't beat yourself up with that. You dust yourself off, you come back, just like we did this week. You go 4 for 4, undefeated. You got a new streak going. This is the things that we want moving forward where it becomes, you know, hey, success becomes a habit, not very surprising anymore. You have expectations grow as you get better. I know we have expectations here at GAR Capital really since the beginning of the new year. After 2022, we really wanted to redouble our efforts to be even better than we were last year, as always. And we can start seeing that now. I've gotten those DMs that everyone's saying, you guys are getting better. You guys are getting more on point. The predictions are on point. Why? Because we're putting more emphasis on explanation. Back then, I can remember it was all about the trading. It was all about just send them out. But then we revamped the Discord. We added the blog. We started doing daily videos, recapping with you guys, going over every trade. Watch List was always there, but now we have the updates. We're keeping you guys up to date with every single trade as we go. Again, these are little habits that we've built since 2014 that I started. Over time, it just gets better. It's a wonderful journey. I don't really think of a destination. I just enjoy the ride. I really love what we do here. And I would love to have you guys on board. It'd be great to have you on board and join with us. It's a great community. It really is. It's a great community. You know, how often do you get to talk about stock markets with people in public? Very rare. But this is the place to do it. So love to have you on board. Make sure to go to the website, www.gar.capital. Sign up for the free market blog. At least be on the blog. We'd love to have you on board. Very fun stuff. Okay, so there goes my first part of the day. And knocked out. I will see you guys on Monday for the next morning note. Have a great rest of your morning and weekend. We'll see you guys 9 a.m. Monday morning. Cheers.